WTAE Channel 4 Pittsburgh, where the news comes first. Channel 4 Action News at 11 o'clock starts now.
I never thought I'd say it's great, but it's great. It's not $3.29.
How low will they go? Local gas prices tumble. So why now?
We think that there's a very good chance that Wilma will come back and Pittsburgh will regain major hurricane status again within the next 24 hours.
Hurricane Wilma weaker for now. She heads for Florida as another storm forms in the Atlantic.
Anybody could have been walking past her and got shot. Anybody. That's ridiculous.
And more than a dozen shots fired in the middle of the day near a busy local intersection.
Did you ever think that would happen to you?
Not really. This was the last thing I expected.
Road rage against an ice cream truck driver. Tonight, police make an arrest. Good evening. You'd think with another hurricane churning in the Gulf of Mexico that local gasoline prices would be on their way up again. Well, just the opposite is happening tonight. Prices at the pump are falling rapidly. Last month, local drivers were paying $2.76 a gallon on average, according to the AAA. Yesterday, the average was $2.55, a 21-cent a gallon drop. And today, it's down another nickel a gallon, and that's just the average. Many stations are much lower than $2.50 a gallon. So why the sudden drop? Channel 4 Action News reporter Tamika Artis is in Monroeville with the answer.
Bet you never thought you'd see prices like this again. $2.29 for regular unleaded gasoline here at this BP gas station feels like a bargain now, right? Well, prices have been steadily dropping over the past couple of weeks. In fact, the experts say at this rate, we could be below $2 a gallon by Christmas. It happened without any fanfare, but in case you didn't notice, it's costing you less to fill up your tank.
No, I kind of thought that it was going to be $2.49 and above, like, forever. I didn't think it'd ever be any lower than that.
I never thought I'd say it's great, but it's great. It's not $3.29.
Lower prices even as Hurricane Wilma heads back into the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, I was surprised because they said that the hurricane, the first hurricane, would affect the gas prices.
AAA says the drop in gas prices is threefold. After Labor Day, the government stops requiring the sale of expensive summer blend gasoline. Secondly, damaged refineries in the South that slowed oil production during Hurricanes Katrina and Rita have bounced back, bringing supplies back to where they should be. And finally, international demand for oil is down.
Following oil prices this week, I think this is the first time in several months that they've been below $60 a barrel, which is another good thing. But they've already put warnings out, too.
Gas prices are volatile and ever subject to market forces, leaving analysts and consumers to wonder, even if these prices do drop some more, will it last?
No, probably not. They'll go up and down forever.
Well, gas prices are still about 70 cents higher than they were this time last year, but most people we spoke to say that any relief at all will do just fine. Reporting from Monroeville, I'm Tamika Artis to Channel 4 Action News.
Mexico's Caribbean coast has been battered for 2 days by Hurricane Wilma. The resort areas of Cancun and Cozumel were hit especially hard by Wilma's strong sustained winds and surge. Tourists and residents have been trapped in hotels and shelters. Storefronts have been ripped off and roofs peeled back. In downtown Cancun, winds tore banks open, leaving automatic teller machines standing in knee-deep water. Wilma is now weaker and moving north back into the Gulf of Mexico, where forecasters fear she may regain strength before hitting Florida. And after that, another named storm formed right today in the Atlantic. Meteorologist Demetrius Ivory joins us now with more. Demetrius.
That's right, Sheba. The records keep falling for this Atlantic storm season. We now have Tropical Storm Alpha. This is the first time on record that we've had 22 named storms in one season. On this satellite loop, you can see Wilma, and out towards the east, you can see Alpha. Alpha, currently a tropical storm. Sustained winds are at 50 miles per hour. We only use 21 letters out of the alphabet, and then we start to go to Alpha, Beta, and then Gamma. So we stand at Alpha. Good news is Alpha is expected to push towards the northeast, not affect the U.S. Wilma stands at a Category 2. Winds just under 100 miles per hour. She is following the track that we thought she would. She's starting to turn to the north and to the east. This is a satellite loop of Cancun. She's been bombarding that resort area for much of today. Good news is she's going to start to push out, and we'll be able to look at the damage as we get on into tomorrow. She is expected to head toward Florida. You can see on the northern edge of this storm starting to get shear cleared away by what's called an upper-level trough. All right, I'm going to have more on that. Also, I'm going to give you a definite track for Wilma and your 5-day forecast in just a moment. Sheba?
A persistent hurricane. Thank you very much, Demetrius. Well, for millions of residents in Florida, the routine is all too familiar. Pack up, gas up, and get out. Most have heeded the warnings as Wilma approaches, but not all. ABC's Eric Hong is in Fort Myers, Florida tonight.
Wilma is winding down its punishing attack on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, but not before rendering much of this vacation paradise unrecognizable. Storefronts were ripped away, making them easy targets for looters. The storm's outer bands have also caused flooding in parts of Florida and spawned twisters in Cuba.
The most reasonable thing is to plan on this being a strong Category 2 hurricane as it moves towards the Florida Peninsula.
With Wilma now on a slow march towards South Florida, downtown Fort Myers is nearly deserted. Thousands of coastal residents and visitors have packed up and hit the road, remembering the pain of past storms, including Hurricane Charlie last year.
The thing I'll never forget is the hopelessness on people's faces amid the devastation with, branches laying all over and trees toppled and roofs gone.
Not everyone is leaving. These revelers in the Florida Keys threw an impromptu hurricane party, complete with colorful costumes.
We all have our plans to get out of here if we need to. And in the meantime, we're just tired of all the heaviness and all the fear and just going to have a little fun in the meantime.
Though Wilma is not nearly as powerful as it was just a few days ago when it became the most intense hurricane on record, it remains ferocious. And forecasters say it could still grow stronger as it makes its way to Florida. Eric Hong, ABC News, Fort Myers.